In 1994, Turkish farmers stumbled upon massive buried stones. What they found rewrote 10,000 years of human history. A temple built 12,000 years ago, 7,000 years before Stonehenge, 6,000 years before writing was invented. But here is the problem that keeps archaeologists awake at night. According to everything we know about human evil, this temple should not exist. And this temple, it's just the beginning. Today I am going to show you 4 ancient discoveries that challenge everything scientists thought they knew about our ancestors. Technologies so advanced that modern engineers can't replicate them. Prepare to question everything. Göbekli Tepe, Turkey. 1994, limestone pillars weighing up to 20 tons, organized in perfect circles, decorated with detailed animal sculptures. Klose Schmidt, the archaeologist who led the excavations for 20 years, said, "This site will change history." Here's the problem. In 10,000 BC, humans were nomadic hunter-gatherers. No cities, no agriculture, no complex tools. They lived in small groups, constantly moving to survive. But Göbekli Tepe required hundreds of coordinated workers, advanced engineering knowledge, tools to cut and move 20-ton stones, and a reason to build something so massive. The accepted theory: agriculture led to settlements. Settlements led to civilization. Civilization led to temples. Göbekli Tepe completely reverses this. The temple came first, but it gets stranger. After centuries of use, someone deliberately buried the entire site. Tons of earth moved to cover the pillars. Why? Nobody knows. And here's the gut punch. Only 5% of the site has been excavated. Ground-penetrating radar shows 20 pillar circles still buried. What else is down there, and who had the knowledge to build this 7,000 years before the pyramids? Göbekli Tepe proves that we drastically underestimated our ancestors. But if you think an impossible temple is shocking, wait until you see what the ancient Greeks built 2,000 years ago. A device so advanced that it took humanity over 2,000 years to create something comparable. 1901. Sponge divers near the Greek island of Antikythera. They find a 2,000-year-old shipwreck. Among amphibian statues, a piece of corroded bronze. No one paid attention until it cracked open. Inside, dozens of interlocking bronze gears. Microscopic precision, complex design. Like a Swiss watch, but made in 100 BC, it took scientists 100 years to discover what this thing does. It's an analog computer. The first known computer of humanity. You turn a crank, and it calculates positions of the sun and moon, lunar phases, solar and lunar eclipses, positions of all 5 known planets. It even predicted the ancient Olympic Games. Differential gear technology, something that wasn't reinvented until 18th century Swiss watches. A gap of 1,800 years. Here's what makes you think. If the ancient Greeks could build this, what else did they build that didn't survive? Bronze corrodes, wood rots, papyrus burns. The Library of Alexandria burned with 400,000 manuscripts. How many Antikythera mechanisms have been lost to history? What other ancient technologies have disappeared without a trace? Lost ancient technology isn't just about complex devices. Sometimes it's about materials so superior that modern engineers can't replicate them, even with all our advanced technology. Like Roman concrete, the Pantheon. Rome. Built in 126 AD. Largest unreinforced concrete dome in the world. Almost 2,000 years later. Still perfect. Roman aqueducts, ports, roads. 2,000-year-old structures still standing. Meanwhile, modern concrete, it starts cracking in 50 years. 20th century bridges and buildings are already crumbling. How did the Romans make better concrete than us? Scientists have studied Roman concrete for decades. The secret formula: volcanic ash, specifically ash from Pozzuoli, near Naples. But here's the insane part. Roman concrete gets stronger over time. When seawater seeps into cracks, it reacts with the volcanic ash. It creates new aluminum tobermorite crystals. The concrete literally self-regenerates. Modern concrete. Seawater destroys it. Roman concrete? Seawater strengthens it. It's the complete opposite. So why did we stop using this magic formula? When the Roman Empire fell in the 5th century AD, the knowledge was lost. Trade routes for volcanic ash collapsed. Craftsmen who knew the exact proportions died without passing on the knowledge. For 1,500 years, humanity used inferior concrete. It wasn't until 2017 that MIT scientists finally decoded the formula. They discovered that the key was the chemical reaction with seawater. Aluminum tobermorite crystals growing over centuries. But here's the part that will infuriate you. Modern concrete uses Portland cement, invented in 1824. Its production releases 8% of global CO2 emissions, and it only lasts 50 years. Roman concrete, comparatively, zero carbon emissions. It lasts 2,000 plus years. It self-regenerates. We lost superior technology for 1,500 years, and now we are destroying the planet with the inferior version. 3 discoveries. 3 impossible technologies. A temple that shouldn't exist. A computer 1,800 years ahead of its time. Concrete that surpasses modern engineering. But the 4th discovery, that one will make you question whether we truly understand our ancestors, because it involves astronomical precision that defies the tools of the Bronze Age. The Great Pyramid of Giza. 2560 BC for 3,800 years. It was the tallest man-made structure. 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing 2.5 tons. But size isn't the real mystery, it's the precision. The pyramid is aligned with the cardinal points north, south, east, west, with a margin of error of only 0.067 degrees. For context, this is more precise than the Royal Observatory from Greenwich, built in 1675 AD, with advanced astronomical instruments. The Egyptians did this 4,000 years earlier, with copper and stone tools. But it gets even more insane. Inside the Great Pyramid, for narrow shafts, just 20 square centimeters, precise angles, drilled through 60 meters of solid stone. For decades, archaeologists thought they were for ventilation, until 1964, when astronomer Virginia Trimble made a shocking discovery. The shafts point to specific stars. The north shaft of the King's Chamber pointed to Thuban, which was the pole star around 2500 BC, the south shaft of the King's Chamber, Orion's belt. The north shaft of the Queen's Chamber, the south shaft of the Queen's Chamber, Sirius, the brightest star. Not just aligned. But calculated to the exact position of these stars in 2500 BC, accounting for Earth's axial precession. Axial precession, the slow wobble of the Earth on its axis over 26,000 years. Something that wasn't officially discovered until Hipparchus in 127 BC. Did the Egyptians know this 2,400 years earlier? Here's the problem that keeps Egyptologists awake at night. To drill these shafts with this precision, you need advanced astronomical knowledge. Complex mathematics to calculate angles through 60 meters of stone, drilling tools that can maintain perfect angles, and a reason for doing this. The official theory? Religious purpose. Paths for the pharaoh's soul to reach the stars. But that doesn't explain the precision. You don't need a 0.067 degree alignment for religious symbolism. You need it for something else. Astronomical observatory. Calendar. Something we still don't understand. Nobody knows. For discoveries, for technologies that challenge everything we thought we knew. A temple built by primitive hunter-gatherers. A computer that shouldn't exist for another 1,800 years. Concrete that surpasses our modern engineering. Astronomical precision that rivals 21st century instruments. So, what does this mean? Here is the uncomfortable truth that these discoveries reveal. We are not more intelligent than our ancestors. We just have different technology. They solved engineering problems that we couldn't solve. They created materials that we couldn't replicate. They calculated celestial movements that we took millennia to rediscover. History is not a straight line of progress. It's a cycle of knowledge gained and lost, ... and read. So here's the question you should be asking. If we lost these technologies, how many others were lost? What knowledge disappeared when the Library of Alexandria burned? What innovations were buried with lost civilizations? What technologies are we using today that are inferior to what existed 2,000 years ago? And the most frightening question of all, what else did our ancestors know that we have forgotten? Leave a comment. Which of these discoveries shocked you the most? 1 for Göbekli Tepe, number 1 for Göbekli Tepe, number 2 for the Antikythera Mechanism, number 3 for Roman concrete, number 4 for the Egyptian star wells. And if you want to delve deeper into these ancient mysteries, I have a whole playlist exploring lost technologies. Because the more you discover about the past, the more you realize that the future has already happened.